It's time once again to take a look back at all the action that transpired last week here at Deadlock Fight Night Europe. Come along with me on a journey as we see who can defeat the back-to-back champions of EU in Buff Enjoyers. Of course, we gotta kick things off with our challenger match. That's going to be Mydong versus the DFN veterans, Poggilia Scumbria. And as we get to the draft for the first map, we can see that Poggilia Scumbria has decided to take away the pocket, while Mydong removes Wraith off the table. After losing the 1v1 lane to Moffin, Zanya continues to feel the pressure as Mydong reads his rotations and catches him out once again.
Getting thrown down pretty far out, but it doesn't seem to catch anyone. Zania having to back away now, but of course that life drain is going to be a problem from Moffin. Very, very low. Hit by a slowing hex as well by Captain, and Zania has to get out. Just hiding for the time being. Surely not. Surely not. No. We spotted him out.
With Mydong knocking on the door of lane 2 with a 5-on-2, Together flies in from base, allowing Poggilia Scumbria to fend off the attackers.
Divine Barrier has to be dropped there as Kudzu. Bomb is also deployed to make it harder to pursue that Ivy. Blitz doesn't really get the what they're looking for there. And now behind his heavy barrage, Mydong trying to take the turret, but together with a big power slash connection on Spick straight away. Here's that combustion use from Waldo, who's got 6k on them already. Kuru's gonna fall.
After Together gets caught out in the 1 lane, Mydong looks to thrust themselves into the Guardian, but a good rotation out of Zanya offers all the protection that PS need to stave off the push.
Not to mention the ability points you get. It's a big turning point, and speaking of turning point, Sunset might be caught out here.
Martin wants to push towards him here. Life Drain, of course, at the ready. Has to respect what the 7 can do, though, especially in terms of their zoning potential. At this point, Martin might be hoping for a soul exchange, but no opportunity to make use of that. This is messy. Cube has to be used by Vic here. He's still healthy enough now. Zania, who really wants to try and draw a bead on the position of that Viscous, heads upstairs all too easily. The Lash's mobility unrivaled.
With the second urn turn-in on the line, Onibi tries to force a fight for his team with a nice wall, but unfortunately, it only turns into a 2-for-1 for Mydong as PS get the urn turn-in again.
Barrage, but in the way, of course, will be the time wall. Stun attempted there for Litz. Gonna be a 1-for-1. McGinnis does eventually fall, though. Zania getting run into by Muffin now, who's looking pretty dangerous. Will use that soul exchange, though, but the damage is very, very good onto the Lash. And they'll be able to chase him down. 2-for-1 favoring Mydong here.
Trying to take advantage of PS being out of position, Mydong barrels down on the lane 3 walker. But Litz, being quite fed, is able to flank around the backside, causing Mydong to retreat and PS to come out with 2 free kills.
Blitz goes in.
Good hit for Litz, though. That Stone Idol able to stun up Martin for a time. Has another paradoxical swap, and yep.
After securing mid-boss and a couple of picks, it's time for PS to take the initiative. Onibi, though, keeps Mydong's hopes alive.
With the respawn timers coming through as well, with them going to be staggered, we might actually just see the finish here.
That crew TP'd in, Jason, but it was just a little bit too late to do much of anything here. Onibi nicely done, though. Big, heavy barrage coming out of spawn. Onibi, bear in mind, is...
And less than 2 minutes later, PS returned to finish the job as Mydong goes limp on their final hold, and Poggilia Scumbria takes the victory and gets the rematch versus Buff Enjoyers.
Extend will be enough to hold them back, but honestly, he's just going to be bursted before that can really do much damage. Here we go. We have 4 players left alive. Waldo going to be coming back in. The wall going to be thrown as well to help separate them. The problem is no one's really in the pit, and they're all in the pit generally towards the same side.
Oh yeah, they're just going for this now. Concussive combustion used inside the pit by Waldo, hoping to try and get as big a stun as possible. But Captain and Martin are already down, and Onibi is also going to get eliminated. Scary stuff. Waldo in the mix, and of course, pretty well built. But no one in Poggilia Scumbria really bothered. Hardeki, of course, takes a fair bit of damage. Eventually has to succumb. But his patron is done, and Poggilia Scumbria will be advancing for another crack at the Buff Enjoyers.
And now, making our way to the money match, PS secure 4 of the same picks from their first match, while banning away McGinnis. And Buff Enjoyers, meanwhile, take away Mirage. Knowing how aggressive Buff Enjoyers like to be in the early game, PS baits them into a fight while Together lurks in the shadows. However, PS over-rotate, leaving Hardeki to get caught out in the jungle as Zanya loses the 1v1 the Demov.
Hilarity
coming in.
With the damage, though, where's the follow-up? Michaelis still looking pretty healthy now. Quantum Entanglement used to get out of the frozen shelter, but the Paradox is caught inside there. Taz eventually needs a little bit of help with that rejuvenating Aurora. Wasn't able to connect on to the Paradox for long enough. Oh yeah, Listic is absolutely out of there. Power slash at their heel as they try and escape. But Michaelis eventually into the 3, making a big difference. Still another bit of a fight here, though. Hardeki going to be surrounded. Finally, Shriek getting on the board.
Continuing with their focus from the first match, PS look to turn in the urn, but Buff Enjoyers respond with a push of their own onto the lane 1 Walker.
Down as Zania is going to be behind them looking for an engagement. The problem is Buff Enjoyers have 5 players in the vicinity, well now 4, so if you go for an engagement here, if they can't get the Walker, you could be looking at 2 deaths and a Walker in the end.
Podula Escambria might want a Walker of their own. So far, this has been defended really well by just Zania and Litz by the look of things. Taz is also here. You can see that Time Wall getting thrown up now. Here's the Death Slam. Okay, decent catch. Dimov's going to be dropped into the middle of it. Has to use the satchel straight away, but will pop out right under the Walker, which is awkward to say the very least.
Litz being the human ward for intelligence, plus the mid-boss being used as bait, gets PS the 6-for-2 team fight.
Respect Litz. He's been here on top of mid quite a lot. Just giving an information game, but it looks like PS are going to just try to bait things out on the mid-boss here. They're not going to fully commit to it. They're trying to pull Buff Enjoyers in for a fight.
Oh, Buff Enjoyers are definitely down for this. They come in, get involved. That's the telekinesis trying off there. Looks like Piggy already used the airdrop now. As far as I can tell, Timov is caught inside that now. Here comes the lash. Bangs on him. Piggy down. That's the healing. Missing for Buff Enjoyers. That's going to be devastating in a longer fight. Sharik to fall next. Michaelis getting involved in this fight in a big way, but here comes the 7, and they are devastating. Hardeki for 2. Michaelis falling at the end there, and there will be a chase further on Zergi. Dimov falls in the periphery. That's together on the Yamato, able to chase the pocket down. After he divests.
Things go from bad to worse, where right off the back of losing the previous team fight, Piggy gets caught out, which ends up baiting the entire team of Buff Enjoyers into another fight they do not want.
In terms of mobility, powered up punch here. Oh yeah, this is going to get very, very messy. It's going to be the rejuvenating Aurora pop straight away. Taz going to benefit from that heal, but in comes Sharik. He's healthy. Piggy a little bit low. In fact, this gets turned around. Now they've been able to pick Litz off. Sharik though goes for the 1-for-1. Now the telekinesis being used, a big power slash there. Michaelis maybe not expecting that. And the TP away here for Sunset, but they're going to be chased. Piggy wants to try and land a stun, and they do. Sunset goes down to half. 92 bullets in the chamber though with that gun buff. It's very scary to go up against the Wraith here. And upstairs we go. Maybe you're regretting that right now. It's unclear. Let's though bring back into the fight. Listic goes down there. Together joins them upstairs. Concussive combustion getting popped here. A lot of damage off that, but Zergi can't.
With an over 40,000 soul lead, Pajulia Scumbria look to use the urn as a focal point for the next fight.
Sorry, that's fair. All right, urn, take, attempt. Yep, Together's going to get it done. Shadow transformation, pop for a bit of that invulnerability. There's a big paradoxical swap across the map. Timov is in deep trouble. Let's able to bring them down at the end now. Eyes turning towards Hardeki as he's able to deal with Sharik. And yeah, Pajulia Scumbria far too far ahead in this game. Frozen Shelter pretty effective here, but return fire getting popped now by the Yamato. Together, virtually unkillable, which is something you can attribute to every single member of this Pajulia Scumbria squad. Michaelis, of course.
Zanya getting caught out enables PS to finally pull off the wombo combo that we were looking for all game long.
Flash, it might have worked out. Then he's in deep trouble. Michaelis able to run him over. Yes, he has retooth here, but it's going to be a singularity straight away from PS as they come in, and Sunset blows up 3. Oh, buddy, that's the soul lead and a half for you. Zergi getting some decent damage down, and Together getting picked off by Sharik, but Sunset is on the chase, and it seems like once this race draws a bead on you, there is no escape.
Sporting the biggest lead we've ever seen here at Deadlock Fight Night, PS finally close out the first match and put themselves one more win away from taking home the $1,000 and dethroning Buff Enjoyers as our King of Europe.
Looks like Together's going to commit a bit more, but has to watch out for the binding word. It's going to freeze them, but then the shadow transformation will be popped to shake that off. Now he'll be able to walk back out. Sunset, 11 kills in a bloody row. They're going to try and go for this Death Slam to be used to pull Buff Enjoyers out of their sport. And here is the Storm Cloud. Finally, we get to see it. When how fed Hardeki is at 40k souls, you step into line of sight, you die. You don't have a say in the matter. Silence there made it pretty hard for Sharik to hang in there. Sunset able to bring them down. PS still with 4 players to work with now. Hardeki still wants to throw down against Zergi. Concussive combustion pops though. We see the 7 go pretty darn low, but help is on the way as Hardeki eventually is able to finish off the Infernus. Here's the weekend patron about to fall, and what an explosive game one in this series. Pajulia Scumbria start on the front foot.
Going into the draft phase yet again, PS only end up repeating with the Yamato, whereas Buff Enjoyers get a whole bunch of their favorite comfort picks. With the momentum still on their side, PS strikes out early with 2 kills.
From the Yamato there. Oh, what a puddle punch! That was beautiful! And there it is, the power slash claims listing. Pajulia Scumbria, what a great start.
We once again see some great rotations out of Pajulia Scumbria, as Hardeki baits Buff Enjoyers into thinking he's been caught.
Out as it is the dash to get caught out as well here, but he should ideally be safe safe. The charge going to come through as well. The teammate's going to be there. There's the frozen shelter as well.
Zergy looking comfortable for a time now. That frozen shelter might threaten to turn things. Listic's actually going to be the one that gets caught out here. Straight up mid. Podula's Cambria looking to try and push, looking to chase down here against Dimov and Zergy, who want to catch. Dimov's in trouble. Power Slash going to connect. A decent amount of damage, but it's a fairly tanky Warden. They're still going to chase him down.
Listic might have caught together on the charge, but PS is still able to turn the fight around, getting 3 kills.
Listic's damage and the slowing Hex catching on to him. That's going to be a problem, but Zergy to the rescue. Able to accost together, bring them quite low. They don't have Shadow Transformation available, so they just need to run away. A moment here for Buff and Joyce to actually find an advantage. No last stand available for Dimov, though. The gun is going to have to be enough. Flask thrown out. They're going to look to try and take down this Guardian.
They have the man advantage. Like, this is their time to go. You can see there's one player in one lane, one in the forward lane, and that's going to be Dimov getting caught out here, and somehow PS turned this around even with a man disadvantage.
With the win in the last fight, PS looked to pile on, not only taking 1 walker, but 2.
So flex slot opened up for Podula's Cambria, and even some pressure onto the walkers. Scary prospect here for Buff and Joy's need to try to find a way to get the game under their control. Taz overextends there, does get picked off, and I don't know what Together's hoping to achieve here. Here it is, a fight to be had well and truly. Nice Power Slash connection, but Divine Barrier means Zergy is ready to dig in and fight. But it's one lane, it's where it's happening now. Last stand being used there, and there was no escape for Zania.
Buff Enjoyers keep PS away from Piggy as he sneaks the urn in, but it comes at a cost as they lose 3 for the trade.
Fight even being a man down. A great charge comes in, catches up. Sunset is actually going to be leaped into the air and thrown back down, and Buff and George are looking to win this fight.
Owen got turned in during that fight, but Listic does go down. Buff and Joyce may have gotten what they wanted out of that either way, but they still need to do well in this engagement. And, well, I'll give it to you straight, folks. It's not looking good.
Piggy and Dimov come in to steal the Rejuvenator, only to get stymied by Lich showing off incredible play with the frozen shelter used at exactly the right time.
It's working. I mean, Piggy and Dimov taking a ton of damage to that. Here they come, the last thing going to be used. No one has a Rejuvenator quite yet. Frozen Shelter going to be thrown down. Piggy picked off first. Hardeki can't get inside the shelter, but he's not needed right now. Rejuvenator taken.
With Podula's Cambria knocking at their front doors, Buff Enjoyers have to commit to a fight.
Looks like he wants to get involved. We had an airdrop go off there. We're on board with Taz right now. Hasn't even had to get involved in the fight quite yet. Dimov goes low, too low to survive there. Binding Word might go off. There's no one there to follow up on it. That's 2 down there for Buff Enjoys, and these base bosses are slowly being brought down. Now, pressure over towards the shrines. Listic's gonna fall. Only 3 left up for Buff Enjoyers right now. And that's the first shrine, Jason, getting picked up.
The last stand, not at a Dimov this time. Shriek tries to go in, catch him, but I don't think he got a single player from that one, unfortunately, and they lose 3 trying to commit into this fight. That's the last fight spot unlocked here, and Podula's Cambria don't really need to back away right now. I mean, the respawns are coming up in a few seconds, but they can still take advantage of this and obviously going to head away.
As Buff Enjoyers push out of their base looking for a catch, all they end up reeling in is a big L, as finally a team is able to dethrone them as the Kings of Europe.
Because you're going to be immobile, and you're probably going to die, but speaking of dying, we're going to see a fight break out here. Look, okay, the last set does go off, but no damage really coming from it.
Big damage off of it. Zergy actually did go for a Stormcloud there, Jason. Okay. It didn't last very long, and now the death time is up to 35 seconds. Zania did fall, though, but I think that's something Podula's Cambria are more than happy to offer for how under pressure Podula's Cambria can just look to end the game. And we're doing the thing. Okay.
Yeah,
this is more of an NA thing, honestly, but that is it. Podula's Cambria are your new Kings of the Kill in EU for a Deadlock Fight Night.